Hey, I'm Liv, and I wanted to share with you my super fast makeup routine. For those moments when I just don't have time, but I want to be cleaned up, or I've got to do my makeup in the car on the way to something, or I just don't feel like doing something super elaborate. Everything that I use is in this little bag, and this really is my go-to routine for fast, flawless makeup that I'm happy with. So if you'd like to find out more about this, then keep watching. Okay, so of course for this video, I'm in a rush, so we're gonna do this as fast as we can. I have my good to go makeup pouch right here. I think this was an Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. One of the bonuses of the Glam Bag Plus, I guess, is that you get slightly bigger bags sometimes, because I don't find the little bags that useful really. But this one's a good size and it's perfect for my on-the-go kit. First things first, this was a gift from a coworker and it's amazing. I thought initially that it was too neutral for me, which it is, but when you're in a rush, you just want to look good, you want this to last well, something like this is really perfect. This shade right here for my skin tone, my eye color, everything, it adds the brightness and the pop to just freshen me up. Sometimes I'll put that in the transition area. No brushes, nothing. The reason we pulled this out first is because we're going to use this mirror. I have a really hard time seeing, but this works well enough. Next thing we're pulling out of our bag is what we're going to use for foundation, which is the e.l.f. CC cream. No, I lied, it's the e.l.f. BB cream. This has an SPF of 20 in it. I pretend that it doesn't, and I use a sunscreen beforehand, which I did. No matter how busy I am, I still try to do my skincare, put on my sunscreen, all that good stuff. So we're gonna go in with this. So to be totally honest, I blooped this on my cheeks, put a little extra over there, a little bit there. This tone might be a little dark for me right now, but it's enough of a wash of color that it can sort of blend in underneath. Their shade range for the stuff is pretty abysmal, and this is not perfectly my shade, but it's just fine. I probably should have cleaned the mirror in this before I did this. And the thing I like about this product and this kind of product is you can sort of just rub it in like it's a moisturizer and just clear out and cover up redness and imperfections really quickly. Great. Next item in our bag is an eyebrow pencil. This is actually also an e.l.f. product. Go figure. I like things that are affordable and work just fine. I personally have pretty noticeable eyebrows, so this is not always something I'll do. If I were to skip a step, this would be it. But I know for some people, this is their ultimate step, so it's an easy one to include. I love this brush, of course, because I love this product because it has a spoolie on the other side. The pencil is just fine, and the taupe matches my eyebrow shade very well. I used to have problems with things turning out too dark, and I just didn't have the right shade. Also, go figure. Okay, next thing in here is color correction. Another e.l.f. product. I did not actually realize how many e.l.f. products I had in here. So this, if I were to pick between concealer and this, I would pick this. It comes on a little orange, a little peachy orange, and it just gets rid of these dark circles for me, which as an asthma sufferer, I've always had. So I'll tap it in those areas and just pat that out. I'm trying not to drag so much as pat, and drag a little, but just let the warmth of my fingers meld that with my skin tone. Next product is concealer. I will pop a little bit of that just under my eye. Since we're not gonna do that much really, I like to look as clean and as bright as I can. And I can see some veins showing through here, so I'll go over that. Next thing is a white pencil. This is actually not white, it's like a smoke blue, but it really looks white on me. I know some people don't love a white, so you can use a nude if you'd like. I personally like a white and just see it as an extension of my eyeball. And I'll just put that over there. If I remember to, this is something that I like to do earlier on in the eye process, because then I feel like it gives the liner time to sort of sink in and look a little more natural, because white can look a little stark. So as I'm applying stuff, it'll sort of rub off a little and blend in. Okay, now we're gonna go in with shadow. So if I'm feeling frisky, I'll start off with this brown shade. I should show you properly, right there. And I will rub some on my finger and put it in the outer V of my eye. Of course, I will just use the same finger and pat that there. We're going for expedience here. Good, good, good. Get a nice little, somewhat of a wing shape, and don't worry about blending it out yet. And then I will just rub that off on my hand or something. Great. Now I'll go in and tap the edges and bring this a little more inward. This is such a neutral tone for me that I don't mind going a little far out with it, and you can use this depending on your comfort zone. You could just use your pinky and tap the tiniest little bit. Okay, I'll make sure my finger is nice and clean. And I'm gonna go in with my favorite shade. This one over here, I guess we are using Sea Glass and Gold Coast. All right, so it's like, you can still see some of the other shade below it, but this is like a mirrored finish. I hope that's showing up well. It's really fantastic and it's so excellent for this kind of super quick look. And I'll just pat that all over my lid, mostly tapping with a slight drag, and go back in and rub a little bit for the other side because I want this as mirrored as possible. And the great thing about this shadow and a shadow like this, I have not yet found a dupe for this, so I'll just say this shadow, is that it's not gonna budge much. I've put this on for things where I'm gonna be sweating and it starts off early in the morning and I still look great way later in the day. And I'm just gonna let that blend in with that outer shade. With the same finger, I've still got some of the product in. I'm just gonna press it on the inside of my eye. That one went a little crazy and it's okay. Blending that with my ring finger. This is all about finger painting in a rush. Do you see how great that is? I look so much brighter and more awake and glossy and shiny already. Okay, next thing in our bag is liquid liner. For me, a look like this is not complete without liquid liner. It adds that sort of put together quality that no matter what you put on, if you put on a nice liquid line, it just looks clean and put together. You could probably do that with just a little bit of concealer and be great. The challenge is, of course, being in a rush and doing this precisely. Not fab, but it's fine. Okay, we're gonna let that dry before we do mascara and we're gonna hop into the next thing. We have a brush and we have a face palette. Sometimes I'll grab a brush that is large and I can use multiple sides of it for different things. But this brush is pretty cool because I can resize it. So we're gonna start with the bronzer. I love this little face palette because this is my favorite bronzer. It is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Just gonna dip my brush in there. Oh, it smells so good. And bronze it up. Get rid of some of that double chin. Good enough, we're in a rush. Okay, we're gonna drop this down to the next level. If you can see, it has min, mid, and max. So max is obviously my bronzer level, mid is my blush, and min is my highlight. So now we're gonna go in with some blush. And I really don't mind using the same brush for all of this because it's all going on my face and it's sort of blending well together. You know what I mean? Throw a teensy bit of that on. Go back in, a little bit on the other side. Of course, my mirror is so messy, I can't even see. And I'm actually gonna, oh, this is actually the min setting. It's like minimum constriction, I guess, or something. But I'm just popping it back into the bronzer setting, what I consider the bronzer setting, so I can buff out some of that blush and blend it all. Now I'm gonna go to, I guess, what's called max. Not all the way there. And I'm gonna pick up some highlight. Get just a little dab of that there. And kiss that along my cheekbone there. And I just noticed I do have some bad skin, so I'm going to go in with my concealer, tap that out, get rid of all of that. I shouldn't say bad skin, it's just misbehaving. Okay, time for some mascara. And the reason that I did my BB cream and then I did my eyes without finishing up my face was that I wanted to let the BB cream set in more. It's a very moist product. It's sticky. Do you hate the word moist? If you hate the word moist, let me know down below because I don't mind it, but I know some people really hate that. So don't be deterred. It's a very moist product. For someone with Sahara dry skin like me, that is fantastic. But I do like to let it set before I put a powder product on top because it stays quite sticky for a while. Now I feel beautiful and moist. Let's change that. Dewy. I feel dewy and I feel soft and it's great, but it dried enough for me to apply the powder products. So this super quick look is a little bit about timing too. Perfect. Now this look could be great as is. I could totally wear this just like this, put on a little lip gloss, a lip balm, something like that. But I like to kick it up a notch. Surprise, surprise. The one final thing in my bag is a bold lip. For me, when I have a nice, bright, clean face like this with bright eyes, very neutral, it's the perfect opportunity to throw in a bold lip. This is just one that I grabbed. I typically like a little more deep burgundy, but this will work. This is a deep purple. You can sort of do a lot of things with this and it's fine. I should really be wearing my glasses for this. Perfect. Definitely would normally go for a more burgundy, deep red sort of look with this, but it's totally fine. So that's it. That is my super fast look. Everything came out of this tiny little bag. Everything goes back in this. I've done this look in the car while Patrick was driving us places. I've done this multiple times where we went to gym and I worked out and then we had to be somewhere and I had to sort of freshen up. I know that sounds gross, but you know, sometimes it happens. I've done this while he's driving, stopped at traffic lights. There are a couple of things you've got to wait for traffic lights for. Liner, mascara, lips being some of them. But a lot of the rest of it, I just You can slather on with your hands, you can mash around. It's very easy, it's sort of foolproof, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay. And this will wear for ages. This is an excellent look for me that I can keep on for ages. The eyes are gonna stay exactly like this, which is amazing. If you want a little more staying power, you could go in with your favorite liquid waterproof liner. Mine isn't waterproof, but I'm very comfortable with this liner. But that's the finished look. Let me know what you think down below. And if you have a routine that you like to do when you're in a rush, let me know what it is. I would love to know. And it would even be fun to give it a shot too. I've linked all of the products that I use down below. These are my staples. The only thing that I did not purchase is this Tarte Kit. As I said, a coworker got it for me. I'm very glad she did. Actually, it was like in her collection and she re-gifted. But I'm very glad she did because I would not have gotten this for myself. And it is the perfect on-the-go sort of thing for me. It's very easy to use and it stays for a long time. I don't have a lot of experience with this brand, but this is a product that I've enjoyed. Everything else was purchased by me and is stuff that I use all the time. So I do consider it a fair recommendation. Thanks so much for spending time with me. Wherever you are, I hope you're having the best time that you possibly can. Be kind to the people around you, and thanks for hanging out.